You should never stop painting. Actually, not that far.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, I'm Ling and I'm turning my apartment into a home art studio. Recently, I've been working on a collection of homewares with my friend Sarah, who makes the most beautiful pottery. The whole thing is inspired by my Chinese and her Korean heritage, and we've been really interested in the ways that materials and styles have been shared between the two over many different dynasties. I posted my first video about the brand a few weeks ago, and I'll link that here in case you want to see the early inspiration first. So Sarah has been making a pottery collection in London, and I've been painting and making fragrances at home in Sydney. Since we met, we've always shared creative ideas and have so many things in common. I asked her if she wanted to start something together this year, and I think a lot of my ideas became very concrete from then on. Finding someone who is just as excited has been one of the best things while I'm creating. It's also given me more structure to work around because I really wanted to have some things ready in time for her visit to Australia, so I started to set realistic goals. It can also just be really hard to figure out everything on your own, which we're still doing in many ways, but it's so much easier to share inspiration and progress with someone else. So I want to make this a series as we go in case you're curious about the process of starting a homewares brand, or maybe you're trying something new, or even working on a whole brand idea of your own. These videos will be in a playlist on my channel, so it would be great if you could subscribe and we can slowly figure everything out together. The thing about starting something is that it suddenly opens up so many possibilities, and while you're planning, it's really easy to keep looking forward and think about all of the things that you could do, which is definitely the most exciting part of the process. But at the same time, I think it's always really important to look back every now and then and acknowledge the things that you might have already been able to learn or create. I think that most of us are surprised if we actually stop to reflect on what we've started and can really see how much progress we've already made. So I thought it would be a good time to do an update on the homewares collection. It has been so much fun to create so far and already includes things like candles and reed diffusers, a whole collection of pottery in plates, mugs, incense holders and matcha bowls, and also some paintings for furniture ideas as well. The main challenge so far has been that I live in Sydney and Sarah lives in London. It's not normally a problem because we can always call and send a lot of photos and videos, but things like testing fragrances are obviously a bit harder when we can't just share them in person and see what we like. But all of that changed recently when she was able to plan a trip to Australia. She packed so much clay in her luggage. I'm actually so surprised with how much she was able to carry over. And we were finally able to spend a few weeks looking over everything together.
Hello. Happy to be here. Stop it. These are final V's. Oh.
Happy to change anything, but that's the first test.
This is so nice. What the?
I think the black tea is just a really clean scent.
Yeah. It's also very familiar.
So it's like ginger, cinnamon.
Oh. I can't believe you made these.
I'm so glad you like
I
it.
usually smell like 10 and I maybe like one.
Wow. We'll get to the
so
crap
nice.
ones soon, I'm sure.
It's been so nice to show her the candles after talking about them for weeks. Her favorite one was definitely this jasmine one, which I was actually inspired to make because of a fragrance that she uses at home, which is really just natural jasmine and tea. It's so simple but so nice, and I think this one is becoming the favorite among all of my friends as well. I feel like I'm showing you this candle when I wish I could just give it to you to try it, but I do think that will be possible one day, hopefully soon.
I have a jasmine, well, I had a jasmine plant outside that grew on our vines, and every time it bloomed, like, it was very strong, but I was like out there.
Okay.
And what Leo did was he picked them, the flowers, and he oven roasted them so all the moisture went away, and he put it in his black or green tea.
Yeah.
And it's like our favorite
It's
tea.
the perfect combo.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been done for centuries because it's just so good.
Yeah.
Like, it's just classic.
But it's so, like, it's natural. Like, they grow like crazy.
Yeah.
And you could
And
just...
so fragrant.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I'm gonna get some coffee to break up the smelling so you don't get a headache.
I could just keep smelling this as my neutral scent. I would wear this.
Really?
Ling. Oh my gosh, I actually think Leah's gonna really like this.
Really?
So Jay suggested that we make 8 fragrances just because it's a lucky and auspicious number, and I definitely have 8 ideas that I'm really set on. 4 or 5 of them are probably ready to go, and it was good that Sarah could take home a few candles to test as well, because the others just have different variations that we're still trying to figure out.
I think it'd be good to test in a bathroom or in a bedroom.
This to me smells sweeter.
Yeah.
And this smells creamier.
Yeah. I'm not sure now.
This smells like something I would put in my bathroom. I really like both. This one's hot.
Do you want to take either and try burning them and see?
Oh my gosh. Wait, you're definitely sure you can recreate these? Oh, I see. This is starting to blend more with the...
The orchid one?
Yeah, a bit.
I don't like it.
It smells like...
Disgusting.
Okay. I see what you mean by this headache thing. The thing is, I don't even know how to like describe the notes. So all my responses right now are nice.
Do you know, like, in Mandarin you say like, not like, want, not want? You can just be like, want or not.
Yeah. This is quite nice. It has
Okay.
like a buttery smell. I like it. It's like smooth on my nose.
Friend, don't overdo it, you're gonna get ill.
This needs to close. I'm now smelling coffee. Okay.
Yeah, so that one's orchid.
No, it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you think
I would
the
rate
name
this one.
works? It's like
Yeah.
stuff that you find there.
Yeah,
Glasser.
I think so. That's really nice.
Yeah?
It's a nice homage to like the place.
And it's such a beautiful place with all the rocks.
Oh, this one has no patchouli. Okay.
Yeah, so this one is green tea. We thought cherry blossom green tea.
Oh,
Don't know.
hey.
And sandalwood for like
Yeah.
a warmer kind of thing.
I like this one.
Okay, that's been everyone's favorite.
This is really nice.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so that
That's
one's
a
okay.
yes. Yeah, that's a yes. That's a hard
Yay.
yes.
Nice.
Yeah. I smell more of the sandalwood.
We tried to turn down the cinnamon.
Yeah, I like the stronger one.
Okay.
But that's one I would like light before people come and then turn it off.
So it's not overpowering.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really good to know.
This is really nice.
You can have that as well if you want.
Oh my God, no.
But don't feel like you have to take anything. that you can't
I will
carry.
take everything.
We also got to look at the design of the candle and a range of different vessels. I think we have a much clearer idea now about the shape and colour that we want, and I think it's going to be really unique. These are not the final ones at all, but now I know the style that we have in mind, I can start looking into suppliers and we can customize our very own candle holders.
That's where they get all the porcelain to this day. And that's where I want to go.
We will go there.
Research purposes.
Yes.
I also started researching and designing reed diffusers so that we can have the same fragrances in different options. We talked a lot about ways to make a reed diffuser a bit more permanent, so it's not just thrown out after one use, and we've been looking into the idea of making them out of porcelain. Porcelain has such a long history in China, and I think if we could make it, it would fit so perfectly with the concept behind the brand. So the next step for me is to keep researching and designing, and also look into ways to make our fragrances work in the long run. So at the moment, I've been sourcing a lot of different fragrance oils from retailers in Australia, and I think that's the best way to get into candle making because it's so easy to get started. These companies already make combinations of fragrances and you can mix them and customize them how you like, but it does save a lot of the background research into developing a fragrance completely from scratch. The only thing is, this process does have some downsides. The main one is that you need a lot of different oils and they all come from different suppliers, and sometimes it's really hard to find the right ones. That whole process has a lot of different shipping costs, and obviously the retailers all have their own markups as well, so the costs can really add up quite quickly. Another potential downside is that a store could stop selling some of the fragrances. This unfortunately happened with one that we were testing out and really liked, and it means that you could finalize your candle design and release it, but maybe actually lose some of the ingredients if they were ever discontinued. I don't think it's a huge problem while starting out, and probably something we don't need to worry about too much, but I am researching ways that we could customize our own fragrances directly with one supplier in the long run. So the next thing that I got to show Sarah was my painting. She saw the whole process in photos, but I think it's actually a lot softer in person.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe. So how did you find painting on the linen? Because you said it was a little difficult.
She really liked it just because it was kind of like staining the fabric instead of painting. Do a stain and you could like see the linen
absorb,
catching it. Which I just thought it felt really nice to paint. I was like, the linen is as much a part of it as the actual design. And then it made everything look a lot softer. So when I mixed the paint, sometimes the colors would look quite harsh, but by the time you put it on, it kind of like takes the texture. And when it dried, the texture came through more. It was nice to see that it's still tied in with all the colours.
This is gorgeous.
Yay, thank you.
This could even be wallpaper. If you were to even just print this as a wallpaper option,
it would be cool to do something slightly different. So the whole concept is like the energy you have left over to do something new.
What character is it?
It's YULI. It's like remaining strength. So originally there was going to be different coloured flowers, but then I thought maybe it would be better to just simplify it and keep it like
I think
just one.
Yeah, it's just the right amount of contrast. Oh, this is so nice. This makes me feel, I don't know, like hopeful. There's something like it's calm, and it's also, I don't know, something new, something fresh. It really feels like very nice to look at, actually.
Oh, I'm so glad.
It's so nice.
That's definitely the feeling I wanted.
I'm going to take it home now. You should never stop painting.
I talk about starting a homewares brand, but we're really just two friends hanging out. There are definitely a lot of things that we are trying to figure out to make a brand, but the most important part is just the feeling that you get from spending time with someone. And our conversations are always so relaxed and uplifting. When you're in the process of learning something or trying something new, that's the main focus, and it usually takes all of your energy. It can also be easy to keep your eye on things that you want to improve or do better, so it really helps to have someone who is just there showing continuing support and who is genuinely excited about the things that you've been able to create. Another thing is that we're really on the same page about life generally and just want to have as many chances as we can to create things. I don't know if it's because we both met in a corporate environment, which we also eventually left, but neither of us like to think of this brand as a side hustle or purely a business venture. So we talked a lot about how it's really a balance between wanting to build up something that lets us create more, but how that desire isn't ever driven by productivity or profit and really just comes from a love for the thing itself.
Usually people like, your side hustle is this commercial endeavor you're embarking on, and all you want from it is some profit to retire early.
Yeah, which is
and
not
I'm like,
the case.
no, like it would be very nice if we could do that, but if we don't do that, that's fine. It's just we want to be able to do it.
Exactly. I want to have time that's not work time to make things. Yeah. And making things doesn't have to equal making a bazillion dollars. Like it's just separate.
Yeah. So but we do have to pay rent, which is like
that's
just
the problem.
The only thing.
I had started working on more painting ideas before she made her trip, but I didn't have enough time to organize them, so we will get to them properly in another video. I am going to try, because I know you said maybe a block color could work too. I'm going to try a different style that's like a wash without the gradient and see. But
no, I love this one.
But the next one will be a sea with a sun coming out and like a celadon blue for the waves. But I haven't quite got the colors yet, but it's like halfway done.
Wait, where? No. What do you mean? Did you hide it from me?
Yeah.
Some of my plates, I'm like, it's a bit in your face.
No, I didn't feel that at all, but I guess you've grown up with the motifs, like...
I mean, when I was really young.
When I was very young, I visited the most breathtaking place in China that's always stayed with me. Lijiang has the most beautiful mountains and rooftops in an ancient town. I've always been inspired by them, but now I can find ways to turn that inspiration into something new as well. We've been able to talk about so many different designs from our childhood memories that we can incorporate and reimagine. When you look at the Chinese buildings and they literally fold out like that.
And they even have it like along the edges of some of the temples.
Yeah, it's stunning. I think even that inner design is beautiful. Sarah was also able to look back on early inspirations and think about traditional motifs that she grew up with.
But see, this is like tradition. Like trying to do the knots thing and seeing how that would work. Anyway, I don't think I would put it on this
beautiful.
Next time. I would engrave it, but here you go. That's my Korea mug.
Her family sent paintings by her grandfather and she included his name on her pottery.
And I tried to have that in the same stamp style as traditional Chinese and Korean stamps. And then the other character is Pan, which is my mum's family's last name. And it's not a common Korean last name. And it's our lineage.
We also talked about a name for the brand and found something that we both really like.
It rolls off the tongue really well. Yeah. Okay.
I like it. I think it's like the max of how many letters we want in something.
And it almost doesn't feel like 2 syllables because it's like, it rolls. Whereas like, I just read that Yun Wu is like 2. That's a cloud.
Yeah.
And that's white, and then that would be the brown body. So these are my looks. Okay, I made a couple. Actually, not that big.
Oh
but
my gosh.
they're so cute.
The cranes.
How did you do this one?
So this one is the clay body itself, which has the speckle in it. I love the crackle. I just like, I can't get over it.
We can chat more about the pottery now. I think the best thing about seeing these pieces in person is there's so many beautiful details in the glaze and they all just feel so nice to hold. I still honestly can't believe that my friend made any of these pieces and a lot of them have come out so beautifully. There were definitely some things that she made and didn't like and others that really just didn't work at all. But for the collection as a whole, I think we've got a really clear idea about the textures, colors and materials that we like. And we talked more about the designs for mugs, incense holders, ceramic candle vessels, matcha bowls and plates.
This one, I think if you kept it within this glaze combo and then the cloud in there, I don't know.
Or just the stroke even.
There.
Because that's kind of smoky already.
If we modernize these a bit more, then it's more of a matte. at least for the ceramic ones, I can do that in-house because that's not hard.
Is it something that I could learn to build?
For sure. Basically, you make one as your prototype, and if you're happy with that, it has to be 15% bigger than what you actually want because it shrinks. So you do that, and I wanted to buy a 3D printer to be able to get it more precise, but that's a later thing.
Maybe we could rent one.
And you let them all rest, takes like 15-20 minutes, pretty quick.
Really?
Because the plaster absorbs all the moisture really quickly.
If it's a simple shape.
If it's a simple shape, exactly.
Ooh.
So
if that's hard, I mean, that's like super nice how it just fades.
yeah, that one was a bit easier.
I like how it like links with the crane, but I also think this is
because it's
like
not
everything you do is
complete
nice.
I think that's it.
I think the best thing we did was putting everything in one place and almost making a catalogue of all of the different pieces. We have had so many ideas bouncing around for the last few weeks in quite a scattered and excited way, but seeing everything in one place really showed us that it is actually turning into a cohesive collection. There was one point where everything was in front of us, and I remember Sarah saying, like, this is a brand, this is what it looks like. And it's really nice to see all of our ideas turn into something so clear.
The crane is just what we've called the brown thing. So I'm just going to say crane.
Yeah.
Cloud. That'll just help me remember. But I guess if it's just white and grog, this was just a clear glaze on top of it.
It's just nice.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think the design itself, like with the corners.
Yeah.
So we made a list with a photo or the idea that we're still working on, and now we can think about what we need to do next to turn it into a full brand. I'm a little bit torn about this because on one hand, I'm so obsessed with everything that Sarah's made and I really just want to show everyone all of it. But at the same time, the design process is so personal and I feel like we're making pieces that are really unique. So we also do want to keep them close until they're actually ready to be released. So in the meantime, I think you'll just have to take my word for it that it is all coming together, and I'm honestly so excited to eventually show you where it goes. If you've watched this, thank you so much for spending this time here. It would be great if you could subscribe to this channel for more art and interior design. I hope it's been a good place to just unwind and maybe reflect on the progress you've made since starting something.
Oh, this is so exciting. I love going back to this page. Every time I'm like stuck on something or something, I'll just read through it and I'll be like, oh yeah,
I love it.
I have this thing.
I have this whole thing.
Yeah, this is my identity. Okay, when am I taking that?